Live from WSLS, this is 10 News at 5, working for you.
Now at 5, a local murder case turned nationwide manhunt moves into the Star City.
Michael Brown is wanted. We believe him to be armed and dangerous.
Local, state, and federal agencies have been searching by ground and by air, but the suspect is still on the run.
Tonight, an entire community is on edge, with schools and businesses shut down and neighbors told to stay inside.
I've never seen anything else like this happen.
You never know if he's cornered or what he could do.
We'll tell you what may have brought him to the area as family members make a plea for a peaceful ending.
We've got crews across the Star City bringing you live team coverage with what you need to know to stay safe.
And we begin tonight with 10 News anchors John Carlin and Lindsay Ward, who are live in the Grandin area with more on this manhunt that is still underway. Lindsay and John.
We are live tonight. We're in the parking lot of St. Elizabeth's Episcopal Church. That's where the man's RV was found very early this morning. Just to set the stage for you just briefly, that RV is roughly behind us. You see some state police vehicles. Off to my left is a tow truck that they've told us they'll use to tow that RV away sometime later on tonight.
And this has been an active search throughout the day, and it all began on Saturday in Franklin County, where deputies say Michael Brown killed his mother's boyfriend, Rodney Brown, at his home in Hardy. And yesterday we learned the 22-year-old's car was located in Clarendon County, South Carolina.
And then this morning he was spotted on Tillett Road in Roanoke, where police say he was tapping on his grandmother's window, and then moments later police found that RV that we just told you about.
Investigators say they don't know where he is, adding this is he's likely on the move and is not afraid to change his appearance. Now 10 News reporter Arisha Jones kicks off our team coverage tonight. She's joining us now live from the Grandin Road Village area with more on what police are saying about this suspect. Arisha?
There's been 2 news conferences today involving multiple agencies, and what we did learn today that Brown's grandmother lives on Tillett Road, which has been much of the focus for the search today. Now, a vehicle he was believed to be driving was found inside a trailer in Clarendon County, South Carolina last night. Then this morning, there were reports that he was spotted on Tillett Road. The search for Brown prompted authorities to place the area within a half-mile radius of Patrick Henry High School under a shelter-in-place. City schools were also canceled as a precaution. Throughout today, there were reports of sightings, but nothing confirmed. Authorities believe Brown is looking for alternative forms of transportation and may be armed with high-powered weapons.
We have an individual who is wanted both locally and federally for crimes against another person. We have reason to believe that he may continue to be armed and dangerous. And if he is confronted or pushed into a position to where he feels like he has no other alternative, then he may use force.
Most of the search for Brown right now is still around the Grandin Road area and Patrick Henry High School, but law enforcement is stationed throughout the area. Now, the FBI, the ATF, U.S. Marshals Service, and the Franklin County Sheriff's Office is also involved with the search and the investigation. Of course, we will continue to update you on this story. Live in Roanoke, Arisha Jones, 10 News, working for you.
All right, thank you, Arisha. And of course, this manhunt started before sunrise this morning in a southwest Roanoke neighborhood. That's when authorities say Brown was tapping on his grandmother's window.
And that's where we find Lindsay Kennett live this evening. She's joining us now live from that neighborhood, and she's been talking with neighbors all evening. So, Lindsay, what did they have to say about all of this chaos?
They say they're still shaken up and feeling uneasy knowing that Brown is still on the loose. Police were stationed all over this neighborhood, especially here along Tillett Road. They were stopping cars, checking neighbors' homes and backyards. Just before noon, police blocked off Tillett Road and told neighbors to go in their homes and take shelter in their basements. Our crews were there as a helicopter started circling overhead and armored vehicles drove down Tillett, which is where neighbors say one of Brown's relatives lives. Other neighbors say they saw SWAT officers knock on someone's home. A woman answered. The officers reportedly searched inside, and when they got back out, that's when all the police left the area. With the sun setting and no new leads on where Brown might be, this manhunt is leaving folks here terrified.
It was a kind of a shock. Yeah, definitely a shock.
That it was right next to Spring Street, and I went, oh my gosh, that's right next to my house. So yeah, I've been a little freaked out this morning because that was super close.
Neighbors say all they can do now is wait, be on the lookout, and lock their doors. Live in Roanoke, I'm Lindsay Kennett, 10 News, working for you.
All right, thank you, Lindsay. Meanwhile, 10 News was the first on this scene as law enforcement began investigating the RV they believe belonged to Michael Brown. 10
News reporter Coulter Anstad has been there since early this morning, bringing you updates from the site of that RV with it in the background. And Coulter, I understand that state police are now telling you they think that RV may have been there for 24 hours before they found it.
Well, John, a church member I spoke to today said another church member noticed the RV around 10 o'clock yesterday morning. And when the church member I spoke to today came to the church today to do some maintenance, the RV was still here, but it was not intact. Take a look. This is what the RV looked like when we pulled up this morning. The entire passenger side of the RV appears to have been sheared off. How that happened is still unclear. As we've reported, this is the vehicle authorities believe Brown used to pull a trailer down to South Carolina. That trailer was found on the side of a road last night, and inside was the vehicle Brown is believed to have been using.
I was quite surprised. I was glad that I didn't go over there and bang on the door and try and open the door last night. So he might have been inside, but I don't think he was because we had so many people here last evening.
Coming up tonight on 10 News at 5:30, I'll have reaction from a man who lives near the church. For now, though, live in Roanoke, Coulter Anstad, 10 News, working for you.
Very good. Thank you, Coulter. And tonight we're hearing from a prominent Roanoke attorney who has a plea for Brown to turn himself in.
Now, Brown's friends and family are worried about him being on the run and everyone's safety. That's why they hired Deborah Caldwell-Bono to be his lawyer. Caldwell-Bono says she's been in touch with those friends for a few days now. She officially joined the case this morning after the manhunt moved back to Roanoke. Now, we brought it first to you live right here on 10 News this afternoon that she's asking him to surrender.
He has a very strong support system in the area. People who love him, who've known him for years and always been there for him, and they are still with him, and they want him to know that. And if he will please turn himself in, contact me. I'll be there with him. He knows who these people are who've always been there for him.
Caldwell-Bono says she's never been contacted like this for a case, but she is happy to help out in any way she can. And again, her plea is for Brown to turn himself in, and she will see that things end safely for him. And of course, this is a story we are going to continue to update you throughout the night. But first, we want to send things back into Brittany McGraw in the studio. Brittany?
All right, we will continue our team coverage coming up in just a few minutes, but we do want to check in on your forecast. We've been dealing with brutally cold temperatures, but the warm up we've been waiting for is here. Meteorologist Delaney Worden joins us now with more on what you can expect. The big question is, are these warmer temperatures going to stick around?
Well, you know, we're going to be warmer for your Friday, an important day. People are heading out, but unfortunately this weekend we do have another cool down on the way. It's not going to be as dramatic, which is some good news, but it is going to be chilly this weekend. As for the moment, we are still keeping a lot of those cloudy skies overhead. Satellite and radar showing that. For tonight, we will continue to see more of those clouds moving in. Currently a temperature of 41 here in Roanoke. The rest of us did make it into the 40s today, which was 5 to 10 degrees warmer than we were yesterday, and we do have warmer temperatures, of course, on the way for your Friday. I'll have more details on that, as well as a look at our slightly cooler weekend, all coming up in your full forecast. Brittany.
Still ahead tonight, we'll check back in with John and Lindsay and the rest of our 10 News team as we learn new details from those who knew the Marine at the center of this manhunt. Plus, the investigation into the mass shooting at Virginia Beach is now complete.
Must move forward, and this is the critical part of our healing journey.
We'll tell you the 3 biggest red flags they found out about the gunman.
And we are working for you tonight to find out more about the man on the run who is wanted for the murder of his mother's boyfriend. Michael Brown is from our area and graduated from Franklin County High School in 2015, and that's where we find 10 News reporter Taj Simmons live tonight. So Taj, what kind of person was Brown growing up?
Well, John and Lindsay, I spoke to Franklin County High Principal John Crutchfield earlier this afternoon. He said Brown blended in among the 2,000 or so students at Franklin County High, and he's absolutely shocked to see him at the center of a massive manhunt. Crutchfield said Brown was an average student. He wasn't popular or academically excelling, but on the other vein, he wasn't shy and he wasn't failing in his classes. Brown's only notable activity here was the Reserve Officers Training Corps. He was an ROTC during all 4 years at Franklin County High. Crutchfield is still processing the situation Brown is in right now.
It's always shocking when you hear something as awful and as disturbing as that, and you hate it happen in our county, because we have a wonderful county, but you hate it as one of our graduates as well. So was I surprised? Certainly.
Crutchfield said Brown was the talk of the school today, especially among teachers who remembered him when he was a student. And although Franklin County High did not cancel classes like Roanoke did, they did make one small adjustment. Crutchfield said students were kept inside for most of the day for safety reasons. For now, reporting live in Rocky Mount, Taj Simmons, 10 News, working for you.
Once again, and obviously this is a developing story that we'll continue to follow for you both on air and online.
And we'll post updates online. Just log on to WSLS.com, where you can also find a timeline of events. You can also download the 10 News mobile app to get alerts sent straight to your phone.
And we will be live out here throughout our 90 minutes of early local news tonight. But for now, we want to send it back to Brittany McGraw in the studio. Brittany, back to you.
And coming up, another deadly school shooting, this time in Southern California.
It was just like 2 or 3 gunshots, and then everyone started running out from the entrance.
What we're learning about the victims and the suspect coming up next. 2 teens are dead. Several others are hurt after a school shooting in Southern California this morning. Police say a gunman opened fire inside Saugus High School in Santa Clarita, about 40 miles north of Los Angeles. A girl and a boy died at a hospital. 3 others are still recovering.
I heard the first 2 shots and I was kind of confused, but then when I heard the third one, I just started running with my friends, and then 4 other shots went off.
The 16-year-old gunman, who is believed to be a student, ran away from the scene, and after a nearly 2-hour search, he was taken into custody. Investigators say he shot himself, and they're not sure if he'll survive. No word yet on a motive. After 4 months, an independent firm has released its findings into the mass shooting in Virginia Beach that left 12 people dead. Investigators created a timeline of the killer's life dating back to 1996. They say there were several red flags, including a divorce from his wife, questions about job performance, and in 2018, he visited websites about other shootings.
Retrospectively, we can look at those elements and go, this individual is struggling and is potentially on a path to violence. But there's not a point in time that you can say this guy is going to carry out this act.
The firm also recommends that the city restructure the Human Resources Department, adding a mandatory workplace violence prevention program and update physical and technical security. A 71-year-old is facing multiple charges for allegedly having and producing child porn in Bedford County. According to the sheriff's office, Warren Norris was arrested in connection to an alleged sexual assault of a minor. Deputies say they searched Newmarket Loop and Hideaway Drive in Forest, where that found numerous pieces of evidence. This stems from an ongoing investigation by the Southern Virginia Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force. A local pastor charged with molesting a child in West Virginia has been acquitted. A newspaper in the area reports that a jury found Daniel Schaefer not guilty of first-degree sexual abuse. The 77-year-old was accused of inappropriately touching a girl younger than 12 while visiting Harrison County last year. Schaefer was listed online as pastor of Highway for the Remnant Ministries Incorporated in Elk Creek, which is in Grayson County. Deputies are asking for your help tonight finding 2 people involved in a local burglary. According to the Campbell County Sheriff's Office, this surveillance video shows 2 suspects forcing their way into the Mini Mart Shell station on Timberlake Road early Monday morning. We're told they took off after taking money and other items from the business.
After a very cold past 2 days, temperatures were slightly warmer today, ranging from anywhere from 5 to 10 degrees warmer. We are seeing a nice sunset out from our sky cam in Blacksburg this evening. A few clouds still lingering overhead tonight, though, going to be pretty overcast for us. Temperatures at the moment still, for the most part, into the 40s. We even have a few 30s up towards the highlands and even back to our south as well. Martinsville currently sitting at 39 degrees. Here in Roanoke, we are at 41 after hitting a high right around 45, 46 degrees this afternoon. So temperatures are still well below average, but we are certainly warmer than we were over the past 2 days. Across the rest of the region, temperatures are slightly warmer than again they have been, and we'll start to take those warmer temperatures into tomorrow too. Satellite and radar showing those clouds that we've been seeing throughout the day continuing to move throughout portions of, say, south side, and we will start to bring in more into the overnight hours. Future Tracker is showing that things are going to be quiet as we start our Friday off. I think we will see, if anything, a little bit of sunshine in the morning, but I think throughout the rest of the day, we're actually going to be seeing a little bit more cloud cover, certainly more than what Future Tracker is picking up on. As we go throughout the rest of the day, going to be pretty quiet out there. The cloudy skies are actually not going to prevent us from warming up. We will be into the 50s as we head into tomorrow afternoon and even into Friday night. As you're heading out the door, perhaps you're going to a Friday night football game or just heading out on the town. Temperatures are going to be cold, but it's going to be quiet. We're not dealing with anything in the way of rain or even the potential for snow, but you will want to bundle up if you're heading outdoors. Right around kickoff time at 7 p.m., temperatures will be in the mid to low 40s. By halftime, lower 40s, and even as things are starting to wrap up, our temperatures are down into the 30s. If you're planning on heading to the Virginia Tech versus Georgia Tech football game in Atlanta, Georgia on Saturday, that does begin at 3:30. Temperatures are actually looking pretty nice there, into the 50s for the most part, seeing quite a bit of sunshine there as well. Going to be a nice game. As for tonight, though, those temperatures, they're going to be cold, but compared to the past few nights, it is not going to be that bad. We're still going to be right around freezing, so still cold out there, but 32 degrees here in Roanoke as opposed to the teens and 20s. We'll take that certainly. 29 degrees towards Blacksburg, 35 in Danville, cloudy skies overhead, and your 7-day forecast keeping us cooler this weekend into the 40s, but next week actually looking pretty nice. Temperatures back into the mid and even upper 50s. Brittany?
Still ahead tonight, what some local businesses are doing to help law enforcement who are looking for a Marine wanted for murder. And coming up later tonight on 10 News at 5:30, it was a historic impeachment hearing that also revealed a deep divide in Congress and the nation.
I'll allow the question, but are you asking? Really? Are you, Parliamentary Inquiry, are you seriously interrupting our time here?
The second phone call that could further connect President Donald Trump to political pressure on Ukraine. Plus, world-class acrobatic ice skating with visual effects and live music, where you can catch a local Cirque du Soleil show this weekend. That's ahead at 5:30. We're continuing to follow breaking news as the search for a murder suspect continues in the Star City. Let's check back in with John and Lindsay, who are live at one of several scenes in the Granton area. And we're told a local business is trying to help out where they can.
That's right, Brittany. I tell you what we found is that this search today, there's been shelter-in-place orders, all sorts of things, and that has had an impact in particular on local restaurants.
Yeah, the owner of Scratch Biscuit Company and the Village Grill says business was slow today, but they used their time to feed police officers. Nathan Webster and his crew sent more than 70 breakfast biscuits to officers staged out near Patrick Henry High School. They also opened their doors for officers to eat lunch and dinner for free at Village Grill.
We wanted to kind of extend our hand and say, hey, come down and get some food. It's been cold last night, it's cold today. It's a hard job they're doing, and they help keep our community safe. So for us, it sounds like the right thing to do.
And Webster says that offer stands until the close of business tonight.
And back out live here on scene, state police are still behind us, and they're going through piece by piece the RV that Brown left behind. And right now there's a truck full of pieces that they took from the RV. They filled up in the back of that truck, and that truck is now leaving the scene. Yeah, they've essentially dismantled that RV. And one of the things that one of the members of our crew saw earlier today is he did witness police removing a long gun of some kind of rifle or shotgun from that RV. And as you can see right now, that the vehicle with the dumpster on the back is just about to leave. Later on tonight, we're told police have a tow truck right here next to us. They'll use that and they'll remove the RV from the property here at St. Elizabeth's Episcopal Church in the Grandin area. And we'll keep you updated with any new updates here on this scene and across all of our crews who are live from Franklin County to other areas in Grandin Village. But for now, we'll send it back to Brittany.
And this is a rapidly developing situation, so we'll have much more from all of our crews coming up on 10 News at 5:30. Plus, it's a tiny problem that's making millions of Americans sick, but the CDC wants you to know about this microscopic threat.